one.
My number one
is Ghost Stories, which I had in at number 4. So maybe you want to tell us why that's your number 1.
So, it's only 9 songs, right?
Mm-hmm.
The shortest one we've got to date so far. And the first thing I wrote down was unskippable. Not even, for me personally, like, not even, I'm not fast forwarding it. Don't really need to go back a song because I know the next song is going to be good.
Yeah.
The track listing is perfect.
Yeah.
Be like, Sky Full of Stars, second to last.
Interesting choice as well, innit? I feel like
Sky Full of Stars.
Well, to put it on that album, but I get how it makes sense in the running of that album. It sort of being the euphoric end to it, the resolve.
Yeah.
But to put it that far down the track list as well, it being like the big single from that album.
This is mad, right? Because like Midnight was the first single,
right, and
it's the least like constant sounding song on the album. Do you know what I mean? Like nothing else really sounds like Midnight.
Yeah, it's one of the most far out
things that they've done.
Yeah, and especially at that point. You know what I mean? Obviously, they did that weird Kaleidoscope EP that's got some strange stuff on it since
6/4 shit.
But Outcast is in.
I've told everyone. I've counted it in the car, boys. I'm 100%.
No, I agree with you.
Do you agree?
Yeah. Now that it's funny as well because we put the clip out from the last episode of us talking about Outcast being in 22.
22, ain't you?
And in the clip, I'm going, it isn't, lad. It isn't. And then, literally, the when I got home from shooting that episode, I listened to it. I was like, oh yeah, no, it probably is.
Yeah, it's class.
Videos of me being wrong all over the internet.
But back to the pros of my number 1 Coldplay album. I put it's very raw.
It is. Like
it had to be done. Like obviously, we know it came at the time where like Chris Martin was breaking up with Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yeah.
Like, and it's just. You know when we talk about the mental health one, it's like, the venting sort of stuff. I feel like this was his venting.
Yeah. And as well, what I really admire about this album is the sign of a great band and a great band of friends is that the other 3 sort of surrounded him and was like, we can do this for you because you need to make this. You know what I mean? And both like emotionally and musically, you know what I mean? I feel like they really got the emotional resonance of what
they captured it to do very well. Yeah. Again, like they've progressed with like the electronics of it. Do you know what I mean? They're using like the synthetic drums on this one a lot more.
Yeah. And to stop doing that
one. And this sounds like Coldplay, even though, like I said, it's gone more electronic. Like it's very.
Yeah, I've heard it described as almost a more refined, more electronic Parachutes in its mood.
Yeah,
which makes sense.
You can see it, can't you?
Yeah.
Like someone's kicked Parachutes fucking up to date, and like you've ended up with this. I get it completely. I've thought maybe it's some of his best writing I've got.
Yeah, it does hit, doesn't it?
Yeah,
in the feels.
Definitely. I've put the only cons I've got is it didn't tour, obviously, because that's what they decided. They did the thing in London where they had like a few people go and watch, and it was like on the TV. I put if it goes forward with like the next tours and stuff, only A Sky Full of Stars is going to be taken off the album.
Yeah. Which,
again, subjectively for me, like, I think they're all good. Like, it's a shame that we wasn't able to see it.
Yeah.
And what I could have done with one more to get to the 10. That's
like
the cons, but like the cons that like can only improve it, can only lift it up.
Yeah. I think this might mean the most to me as an album out of all the Coldplay albums. Weirdly enough, when I was first thinking about this episode, this was going to be my number 1.
Yeah.
But it was only upon re-listen that I think, as an album, it runs great. Like you say, the sort of the tone of it is really nice. It's a good listen. But I just think the individual songs, there's stronger songs. You know what I mean? It works really well.
On other albums?
Yeah, it works really well as an album. But if you compare, like, True Love to sort of, some of the bigger songs off Milo or Viva La Vida, it doesn't hold up. And maybe that's just because it's a very different kind of song.
Yeah.
They're not trying to be as big and as much of a hit. But I think some of the other albums, Milo, Viva, have the stronger songs that sort of pull them along a bit. Whereas this only has like one big song, and even though this runs really well as an
Sky
album,
Full of Stars being big.
Yeah,
I know, but it's not the album though. You got like you say, conceptually,
I mean. It was really tough as well because there's so many parameters on which you can judge.
Yeah.
And I sort of had to judge it in the same way that I was judging the other albums, and less about like, I really like it. This and Milo's Eyes are my favourite.
Yeah.
But my favourite and the one that I think is necessarily the best aren't the same thing.
Yeah. Like, I would say this would be close to me. Like, Milo might be my favourite. Maybe like a Rush of Blood second favourite. But this, I think, is the best.
Yeah.
Like, again, like you're saying before, True Love I've got as rated the lowest, but it's a 7. Do you know what I mean? Compared to other albums which have got like a 3 or a 4 on, again, in my opinion. Like,
yeah.
So I disagree with what you're saying. Like, if True Love was on another album, it would have fit better than like a 42 on Viva, for my opinion. Like, it does hold up.
That's interesting. Yeah. But do you think that's just because you've heard it in the context of the album, though?
Well, yeah, but I also think they're also good songs.
Yeah, they are good songs. I don't think there's a song on it that I don't like.
Like, that's what I mean. Midnight is like probably the song that is like the least best song. I mean, it sounds good, but as like songwriting goes and that sort of shit, doesn't really live up to the rest of them.
I like Midnight.
But again, it fits perfectly.
Yeah.
In.
And there's something that can be said as well for it being such a refined album. Like you're saying, only 9 tracks. There's no filler.
40 minutes.
It's really, yeah. I thought it would have been a bit shorter, being 9 tracks. But there's nothing like, there's no filler. There's nothing to detract from the thing.
Yeah.
They're not trying to do anything other than this one very specific thing that the album's about. You know what I mean? It's got that theme.
I think this is what people should do with albums. Though. Like, I obviously don't know much about like making albums and stuff, but like, again, if you've got 14 songs, but 6 of them you think, like you're saying, a filler, they're all right. Like, even like if you don't, unless you think everyone is fucking sick.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put it out. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I suppose that's the thing, though. You get quite close to it. It's hard to have that level of objectivity if you're the one making it. But I get what you mean. There have been albums where, like, you know, like 16-track albums where I'm like, you could have got rid of at least 3 of these and it still would have worked.
Yeah.
You know, like we talked in the last one about, like, Notes on a Conditional Form having 20 songs. And it's like, at that point, it's just like a playlist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you've got
playlist
too many
or piss take, you decide. It's only too much. Like, Everyday Life being...
There's the title of the episode.
Playlist or piss take,
you decide.
Like, Everyday Life, right? Double album, 16 tracks.
Yeah.
There's no need.
Yeah, I didn't even... To be honest, I listened to it when it came out and I haven't been back since.
Yeah.
That's why I texted you the other day, being like, is it going to be in your top 5? Because it's not, I'm not going to go back and listen to it all.
No, I think I've got it last just because
same.
It isn't me. Some of the songs are good. Like, it's very, like, you know, the sounds are very from, like, other countries and stuff, which is good.
I can appreciate what they're doing with it. You know what I mean?
Like, the title track, I think, is very good. And that gets in my head, like, a lot of the time, just in general. But that and, like, Arabesque, maybe 2 that I'd take off it. Like, as, like, oh, I like these songs. The rest, I didn't really find anything in it for me.
Yeah. That was like me with X and Y.